So the Legion pre-patch hit, and as a Warlock, you're probably thinking, man, my specs really changed. And they did. You've basically got 3 new specs now. Hi, my name is Songabdol, and I'm going to show you how to play Warlock for the next 5 weeks into the Legion expansion. Why 5 weeks? Because the brokenness of a certain spec will only really apply until the artifact weapons come out and until you start replacing gear. So, too long didn't read? You should just play demo. Just play demo, okay? Just go for it. And the reason why is because Affliction right now has a really long ramp up time. I think it's been it's the longest that I can remember, can even think of, and I've been playing since Wrath. Just because you got to do the soul siphon, the soul effigy. You got to get your dots going on both of them. Agony stacks up to 20 before you're finally doing some decent amount of damage. On the other side, Affliction has some really good movability because 3 of the spells are instant cast, meaning Agony, Corruption, and Siphon Life. And of course, Life Tap, which you should be casting on the move as much as possible for all of these specs, really. Destro doesn't have as much of a ramp-up issue. It has pretty bursty damage, but it downright sucks for movement. The only instant casts Destro has is Life Tap and Conflagrate. And depending on what talents you choose for your Destro, like if you chose Roaring Blaze, you want to cast your Conflagrates on your Immolates or on fresh Immolates to get that 60% damage increase as much as possible. And then so you're left with Life Tap, but then if you also chose Reverse Entropy, then you don't really need to Life Tap because you're not short on mana. So Demo, great, we agreed. Demo's the one to choose. Okay. So again, how do you play Demo? Too long didn't read. More imps. Do as much as you can and whatever you can do to get the most imps. And so let's break it down and kind of explain why imps are so good. When I say imps, I mean everything goes to imps. And any and all shards, with the exception, I guess, of the Grimoire Felguard and the Doomguard, go to imps. I have effectively unbound Dreadstalkers because right now it's a waste of 2 shards. But improved Dreadstalkers gets you 2 imps. You said more imps, right? Well, no. Okay, so let's break down the talents and explain why. So before we get to the talents, we should talk about why it's so broken right now. It's broken for 2 reasons. The first is the class trinket. This is a mythic version of the class trinket, and it has a 62.6%, so approximately 2/3 chance. Every time you cast Hand of Gul'dan, gives you 3 imps, in addition to however many imps you get from casting yourself per shard. You can get up to 4. If you use it with 4 shards, you get 4 imps, plus the 2/3 chance of getting getting this to trigger and spawning 3 more. Statistically speaking, then, every time you cast Hand of Gul'dan, because of this trinket, you get an extra 2 imps. That's just how the math works. So 2/3 times 3 is 2. So on average, over the long run, you get 2 imps per. The other thing that's really broken is the tier bonus. The 4-piece in particular. When your wild imps cast Fellfire Bolt, which is just their normal attack, you have an 8% chance to summon a demon from the void. The demons are the little satyrs, and whatever they're called, and the mini Dreadstalkers that come from this one. Not the ones that you spawn, but just the ones that come from the tier bonus. And you have a ton of imps casting, and every time they cast, they have an 8% chance. Which means you have the biggest army of demons I've ever seen. Even worse than Throne of Thunder, Council Fights with 100% crit dooms. Alright, it's ridiculous how many demons you can get out of this. So those are the 2 things you need to have before this sort of spec works out. This, again, really only applies until Legion comes out. When Legion comes out, you'll be replacing this gear. I believe this trinket stops working at above level 100, so this will no longer work, and you will actually want to throw the Dreadstalkers in and do a normal rotation from there. Alright, so moving on to the talents. The first talent you should get is Shadowy Inspiration. This is whenever you cast Demonic Empowerment, you also get an instant Shadow Bolt. Demonic Empowerment, I forgot to mention about that. Demonic Empowerment increases all of your demons, all of them, including the ones from the tier bonus, a 50% haste buff, which means your imps are also casting 50% quicker and getting more and more and more demons. So every time you cast this, your next Shadow Bolt will be instant, and typically what I do is I combo like this. I cast Demonic Empowerment, and then immediately go into Shadow Bolt. Why did it not work? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. So Demonic Empowerment, Shadow Bolt. Demonic Empowerment, Shadow Bolt. Pretty straightforward there. Shadow Flame, not really useful for this sort of build. Demonic Calling, also not useful because as we said before, we're not calling Dreadstalkers, so no. Impending Doom. Doom also summons one Wild Imp, so you want to keep Doom up at 100%. And it ticks every, what, 20 seconds? Approximately 20 seconds, or 18 seconds, and then with haste. And so Doom generates one soul shard when it does damage, and now will also summon another imp, which is great. Improved Dreadstalkers, again we mentioned. Well, it summons 2 Wild Imps, yes, but this Doom is better than that. Implosion is counterproductive because it just kills your imps, and we want more imps, not less. Moving down to the level 60s, Hand of Doom applies Doom to all of the targets hit by your Hand of Gul'dan, which is not really that useful unless the targets are alive for a long time. With Burst AoE on a fight like Manaroth, this doesn't ever really help. So the one you want is Power Trip. Demonic Empowerment has a 50% chance to generate a Soul Shard. And again, we're going to be casting this Demonic Empowerment a lot. So for every cycle, for every time you summon a demon, including later in Legion when you get your Dreadstalkers, your Grimoire, Felguard, and your Doomguard or Infernal, you'll cast Demonic Empowerment right after that to give them that 50% haste buff. Well, with this thing, that means, hello, this thing 50% of the time you get a Soul Shard. And then you also get 100% of the time a Soul Shard from the Shadow Bolt. So every time you do a cycle, you're getting 1.5 Soul Shards as it goes around. And the last talent you want to get as many Soul Shards as you can is this one down here called Soul Conduit. Gives you 1 in 5 chance to refund your shards. So yeah, so if you got a 4 shard or 4 shard Hand of Gul'dan, you have a 1 in 5 chance on each single shard that you use to get it back. And essentially, you could get a free Hand of Gul'dan just by having this. Now, it's really low chance. I think it's, what, 0.16%? Yeah, 0.16% chance of that happening. But it does give you a pretty good and regular refund of shards. Okay, so the basic rotation now is cast as many Hand of Gul'dans as you can. And that's it. Keeping Doom up and life tapping as needed, of course. Casting these 2 guys on cooldown, I'm not going to really go over that, but when you do have to cast these and you cast Demonic Empowerment right afterwards into an instant Shadow Bolt, it does not affect what I'm about to show you here because it'll generate the 1 shard that these guys consume. Okay, so you start the fight with 1 shard. So pro tip, and this will actually apply to Demolocks going into Legion as well, on the pre-pull, as the timer counts down if you're raiding, you want to cast Demonic Empowerment. It doesn't attack the boss, it doesn't do anything, but it does give your demon this this haste buff, and I can't see it. Oh, it's green there. I can't mouse over it, but I track it here just to make sure that all of our demons are having that. So you can precast that, and that also triggers the instant Shadow Bolt for you. So when your countdown hits 0, you cast the Shadow Bolt. What you're going to do right after that is cast Hand of Gul'dan. We're not going to be shooting for 4 shard Hand of Gul'dans as is for the next few weeks. We're going to be trying to get as many of them out as we can. This means the lower the shards, the better, although having higher shards is not really a problem. And let's go into that and try to explain why. So at 4 shards, you'll summon 4 imps as well as the statistically average 2 from the trinket, which means you get 6 imps for the cost of 4 shards. That's 1.5 imps per shard. Going down the list, 3 shards give you 5 imps. That's 1.67 imps per shard. 2 shards give you 4 imps, which is 2 imps per shard, and you see how it's going up. Well, at 1 shard, you get 3 imps effectively. You get the 1 from the Hand of Gul'dan and 2 from the trinket, and that means you get 3 imps per shard. That is your best shard per imp cost, or imp per shard cost. You get the most bang for your buck for doing that. Okay, and so the basic rotation is really going to be Hand of Gul'dan into Demonic Empowerment and Shadow Bolt to get 1 shard back, and then Hand of Gul'dan into this and that. So let's start this out. So start the fight, cast your Shadow Bolt to get that going, apply your Doom, Hand of Gul'dan, and just start cycling. Like there's a 3. This is only going to be a 1, but that's okay. This is going to be a 2. The next one's going to be 3 because of the Doom. So reapply Doom. Ooh, 4 even, actually. And just look at this army. So there's a Satyr, there's a Dreadstalker. And just, all of these are my demons too. These are not like someone else's either. Just, again, cycling over. And this one's going to be 4. Oops, I'm out of mana. And so you will end up getting a lot of 4 Hand of Gul'dans. It's not a big deal, but again, we're not trying to stack up to 4 purposefully. I got life tap again. Reapply Doom. And you just got to repeat this over and over. And that's your basic rotation for the next 5 weeks. Like I said, if you want to throw in one of the Doom Guards and stuff, you're going to be casting Demonic Empowerment, and that'll give you your shard back. Cast your Doom card, you'll get another shard back. And then go back into your Hand of Gul'dan rotation. I mean, it's really, really easy, straightforward, only a few buttons. I mean, that's the spec now, but... I mean, look at these demons, holy crap. The imps inconsistently spawn. They either spawn around you or they spawn around here. I believe the ones that spawn on the target are from your Hand of Gul'dan, and the ones that spawn around you are from the trinket. This is, of course, the little demon dogs that spawn. Vicious Hellhound, they're called, not Dreadstalkers. I apologize for that. So yeah, now you know how to play demon for the next 5 weeks. Again, the similar rotation will be going into Legion, but you know this is probably the most overpowered one right now. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. If you're new around here, subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or feedback, please leave them below. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.